Hello Virgo, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, it doesn't cost anything. If there's anything that you want me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with a Seven of Cups. And to me, the Seven of Cups, we're going to put this into some context, all right? To me, the Seven of Cups is saying that there is the truth of a situation that you're discovering, right? And this is one of those full moon readings. The full moon is coming in a couple days. It's on Mondays in Gemini. And it's really waking a lot of people up. It's illuminating a lot of things for people, okay? And I think what it's illuminating for you is the realization, the real appearance, the real essence of some situation in your life, something that you are immersed in. You're going to see it in a new way, okay? Let's put that into some context. Yeah. Okay, Three of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, the Devil energy, the World energy, and the Builder. Interesting. Yeah, okay. All right. I almost feel like there's something in your life that you know, something you want, something that in your heart of hearts you're certain of, but there's just a little bit of you need some sort of a prompt. You need some sort of a green light in order to go for it. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. Maybe this will be that green light. And this is just one random card. Mr. Ed goes right on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, Virgo, all right? So don't even ask. But it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need, okay? And if at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, put your answer in the comments below, all right? Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition, all right? Let's look at these cards again. We've only got these two major arcana energies. We've got the Devil and the Universe. To me, this is kind of a removal of limitations. This goat just wants to climb, right? This Devil energy just wants to find a mountain and wants to run to the top without stopping. And here, this is interesting with especially with the idea of this goat, because the Universe card kind of looks like a fence, right? It kind of looks like a chain link fence or something, like creating a pen for our creative energy. So right away, I'm feeling like we are maybe not busting through the fence, but we're creating a situation, we're creating a life where that fence might as well be infinite, right? It might as well be just trillions of miles in diameter, right? We are not totally removing boundaries. We're not completely like removing any of our filters or limitations or like self-awareness, but we are expanding the field of our activity. We're expanding the range of possibilities for ourselves. Okay. This is really good. This, and also with the 10 of Swords that we have, this is an idea of spreading our wings, right? Kind of have a bird cage here with that 10 of Swords, and it seems like that is limiting us. And we're limited mostly, we're limited by physical circumstances too, which we have Earth, it's all Earth on this side, right? Path of the Serpent is Six of Pentacles, Devil, which is Capricorn energy, the World, which is Saturn and Earth, and then we've got the Prince of Pentacles, which is more Earth energy, right? So we've got all the practical stuff over here. But over here, there is obviously fire and water and air. And then there's the connection with the earth with the Three of Pentacles, right? So we've got to get the fire, the water, and the air sorted out, and then all this practical stuff really falls into place. Okay. With the Ten of Swords, it feels like the limitation that we're putting ourselves is one of belief, right? And we have to break out of this mind state. We have to break out of this worldview that perhaps has created a very tight fence around us, right? We don't want limitations. We know we need rules. We know we need, some sort of guidelines or guidance or some sort of, we need an enclosure for our lives, right? We need a container. We need to know that there's an edge, that there's a boundary to things. But we don't want to have boundaries on our own belief in ourselves, right? This is really limiting what we can do by just believing that there's limitations there. Then those limitations become real. Okay, so this, I think, is central to the work. This is what we're aspiring to. We're aspiring toward removing any kind of mental blockages, in our beliefs, in our worldview, in the paradigm in which we live, right? Those things that we know to be true. This is one of those bird cages that we talk about on this channel sometime. And it's interesting that the Knight of Swords kind of looks like a bird. It's more of a dragonfly, but it's the same kind of idea. There's wings here, right? And this is really the aspiration. The fire is in this card too. This is the Knight of Wands. This is the Knight of Swords. It's fire. It's active. It's ready to go. Right? And this is really the aspiration to expand your mind, expand your consciousness, expand this idea of possibilities. Push the boundaries of what you think you're capable of doing. Expand the boundaries of what you think, right? What you think about yourself. I think there's something. Here's that Seven of Cups. This is an emotional thing. There's something tying you to where you are, and it has an emotional connection, maybe sentimental value at this point. Maybe there's some nostalgia attached to this. There's something that's preventing you from transcending. There's something that's keeping you here thinking, this is where you're supposed to be. This is the enclosure within which I must live, for whatever reason. Even though it seems like your spirit is telling you, there's more, there's more, there's more. It's the bird that is content with the cage. Eventually, that bird is going to forget that it even has wings, right? It's going to think that this bird cage is all there is. This belief system, this limited world that I live in, right? And maybe you have a huge world, right? I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to say you're small-minded or closed-minded in any way, okay? What I'm saying is that our life, our ambition, our aspirations, the flights of spirit of which we're capable, are not limited by our kind of horizontal life, the bars of the cage that are around us, right? Our relationships, our family, our friends, the things we do every day, our routines, the things we watch, the things we read, no matter how lofty, no matter how spiritual or new age or metaphysical, those are all ingrained in us. Each one is a bar to the cage. So in some way, these cards are saying that we need to look in between those things, right? Look in between the bars. See the world outside of all of our kind of normal things, the patterns and habits that we are. Because we are not a static structure. We're not all this earth energy. We are a spiritual, psychic, conscious energy. And that is always a process. To exist, something must be in relation to something else. Right? Consciousness is only there if there is something by which to reference it, right? So we are the process of our lives. We are the process of our relationships. We are our habits and our thoughts and our behaviors and our patterns and our routines. All of that goes in to create who we are. Now, I'm talking on a practical level, right? Personality-wise, so to speak. Behind everything, look, we've got this Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is this fiery spiritual energy that is almost longing to go back, almost really wanting to go, not necessarily forward, but it's almost this impulse to go backwards to a more primordial state of being, to a more authentic, away from all of the thoughts and emotions and routines of life, and get back to that space of pure being. And they say, I don't know how this applies really, but those states of nirvana, of samadhi, of the spiritual union, right? That kind of spiritual union is almost like a death, because it in some ways blots out consciousness. It's just pure bliss. It's not even, and I'm not saying that I've ever experienced that, not to that degree, but it almost as if there is complete annihilation, right? Because to be conscious, you have to be conscious of something. Otherwise, it's not the same thing, right? And I'm not trying to get mystical or metaphysical or too hocus pocus here. But there is this urge in you to go back to a simpler time, to go back to a state of more purity. We had the Fool energy here. But I think the universe is showing us a different way, showing us not to go back to the primordial Fool, not to go back to a zero, but to expand ever outward until we contain everything, until our awareness, our consciousness is so expanded that it's almost as if we went back to that primordial state, right? But this is that impulse. This is the impulse to return, to rush to something that was more pure, right? So there is some situation in your life right now, and it might be a general feeling of uneasiness, right? Maybe a queasiness in your stomach lately. Hopefully it's just, that you're eating for the holidays and maybe had too much dessert or something. But I feel that there's something that feels not right. And there's this urging, this prompting of your spirit to do something with it, to get out of there somewhere, or at least to see it, to recognize it, to see that there's something more, to see that there's a world outside of those bars. Okay. And I think that this is something, again, it's something emotional that's holding you down. We have to release that. The full moon is coming. That is really waking up a lot of people and bringing a lot of people this kind of awareness of things that are holding us back. It's a period of intense creativity. But it's almost like this moonlight is going to shine as a beacon, kind of like my studio lights here, shine as a beacon before you. And you're going to be able to see the bars, kind of shimmering in that moonlight. And maybe that's going to be showing you a way to kind of transcend this situation, maybe just in thought, in spirit, right? Maybe just internally. But we see so much earth energy that I think maybe you're going to be making a significant move in your life. Here's the Two of Swords underneath it all. There is this kind of intuitive feeling that you're on the cusp of something, you're on the fence. There's this turning point, maybe a crossroads. And I think intuitively you know that something needs to be done. Okay. And then of course we have our dragonfly here, the Knight of Swords that can fly through the bars of this birdcage, right? And then we got the connection with the earth energy. The Three of Pentacles is you're understanding the process of creation on the physical plane. So you understand that this maybe can't just remain in the realm of thought, fantasy, dreams, aspirations, right? Hopes and wishes. You've got to make a practical change, right? But as yet, this is still disconnected from behavior. This is the potential. This is a potential for behavior. As soon as we get to a 4 of Pentacles, that's when it meets the, the kind of the four-dimensional world here, and it becomes a behavior. Right now, it's just the first stirrings of that. We're starting to realize what kind of changes we need to make. It's all part of this full moon illumination, right? The moon is meant to illuminate our interior world, okay? And that's going to take us to the path of the serpent. And as we make this transition, I want to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, right? And leave some comments for me. I really do love reading the comments. It's kind of my favorite part of all of this is, interacting with all of you. So, path of the serpent, we start with the 6 of Pentacles. This is material success, right? I think you've got a good life. I think a lot of things are working for you, right? And this is kind of, we could almost overlay these two. Sometimes I wish these cards were transparent a little bit, or translucent at least. We can overlay that on that birdcage, or even the other way around, because this is the success of your life. Things are good right now, right? So why is there this longing for something higher? Why is there this desire for transcending or for returning to the primordial state? This makes it difficult to see anything that's kind of beyond the bars here, because it's very bright in the middle. So looking through how bright that is, looking through the bars of the cage seems like darkness. Like me in my studio, I got these lights on me. If I try to look past to the rest of my office and stuff, it's black, right? I'm in a void, and there's these lights here. So it's difficult to see what lies beyond where we are, And especially if things are good, things are stable, there's harmony, there's routine, there's rhythm, there's success, there's probably a lot of, a lot of good stuff in your life, right? A lot of enjoyment, a lot of happiness, right? A lot of cooperation. This is a very functional card here. And things are functioning in a way where you don't hear the squeaks, This is a wheel that's just running very smooth. And so it's easy to just get lulled by the rhythm, right? And but then once things start creaking, and I think that you're kind of feeling that creaking. That's the queasiness that I was talking about, right? The wheel is starting to squeak a little bit. In the environment, we've got the devil energy. This is you really being creative in your environment, in your life, outside of yourself. I think you're able to take a lot of this and put it on canvas, right? A lot, especially the uneasiness. I think maybe you're a writer, maybe you're a poet, you're a visual artist. I almost feel like you're some kind of I don't know what they call it. I'm not really into the art world, but it's like like collages, I guess, or taking found material and putting it together, sculpting. I feel it's very, very practical, very solid what you do. So maybe not writing, maybe not painting, but putting things together, right? And I think that's a way that you've been dealing with some of this queasiness. The Devil card is also here to show that you're ready for adventure, you're ready for a challenge, you're ready to start going up, right? Instead of just continuing to expand the birdcage a little bit further and further out, we're looking to transcend the birdcage. We're looking to really find out what the cosmic limits are, right? This is a rocket ship that's ready to go straight up. This is the energy that will find a mountain and climb it. So in some ways I feel like you're really trying to challenge yourself. Trying to find things that are difficult and do them. Trying to find skill, especially the practical kind of earthy stuff, the skills that you don't know, and learn them. Right? You probably are trying to figure out how to fix things around the house, survival skills, bushcraft, right? That kind of thing. To tap into that, the kind of the earthy side of yourself, but also that earthy side that transcends. you know. So I think this is really a lot of ambition, a lot of creativity, and this is how you're channeling this fire energy of the Knight of Wands, because see, this is Capricorn, this is cardinal earth, this is fire and earth. So all of this fire that we have over here, this uneasiness, this impulse, this drive and desire for returning to the primordial state, I think you're taking it forward into the environment and being creative, learning new skills, challenging yourself, new achievements, climbing higher. You know, maybe you're someone that enters, you know, some kind of a competition. Like I can see you doing a Spartan race or something like that. You know, those kinds of things. All as a way of pushing limits, pushing boundaries, and transcending this limited cage or whatever this situation is, whatever this uneasy, queasy feeling could be. Okay. So the next card is the Universe or World card. And this is just what I said. This is the cosmic boundaries. This is the idea that we still want to have structure and order, but we don't want to feel like we're being squeezed. We don't want to feel like we're wearing clothes that are too tight, right? We want to feel that things are a little bit more loose, right? A little bit more permeable, a little bit more flexible, right? So there's something fundamental in your life that is making you feel a little bit choked, a little bit suffocated, you know, restricted. Saturn is more in this card now than the Earth. I think it is a physical, practical kind of life situation. And it could be work, it could be a relationship, could be school, could be whatever. This isn't a reading like that. This isn't your typical tarot reading, right? This is a life reading, okay, using tarot cards. So I don't know. I guess I would have to do a one-on-one reading to see if this is something that's in the family. This is something that's kind of at the home. Is it at work? And then we could apply these energies a little bit more specifically. But this is a life reading, okay? And that's why it's a general reading. There's a little bit of everything in here. And this is very expansive. This is the acknowledgement that there is so much more to life, right? That we could be so much more. We can have more like spiritual exploration, right? This is the difference between the world, just here on this little rock, and then the universe, right? Transcending those limitations. We're not just staying terrestrial here. We're going extraterrestrial, right? And that's the difficulty. This is the card of difficulties. The next card is the Builder. So this is the card really that in some ways represents, this is the energy that builds the boundaries. This is you tunneling through the earth, and really the only thing that is limiting you is how far you believe you can go. Right? This card even kind of looks like it's you know, it's one of those earth tunneler kind of things that you see in movies or something. Just drilling holes, right? As far, and it's difficult work, right? But I feel like that's what you're trying to do, is to relocate the boundaries, or find the edge, find where this thing ends, and where the kind of universe begins. We're tunneling through the earth. Eventually, you're going to pop out on the other side, and you're going to be in this kind of free, you know, floating, this zero-G kind of life, where there are no restrictions, where it doesn't feel like we're being weighed down, right? Maybe we're trying to get away from gravity here, you know. And I think, you know, metaphorically we are. So this card is the Builder, right? And this is the way that you are, again, with learning these new skills, but it's a practical thing here with this card. This is you creating the kind of life that you want. And maybe this is the tunneling that we've got to do too. Maybe we have to go all the way in to find the source of this uneasiness, right? And that full moon illumination is going to allow us to see what we see in here. And then we can tunnel out the other side and get to this kind of this free area here. Or this transcendent, this expanded life. Let's look at the mystery card now. Okay. Curious what we're going to find. Maybe we'll find the Hermit. You know, that idea of venturing into the earth. Visit the interior of the earth. There you will find the hidden stone. Could be. It could be the Hermit here. I would like to see a solution to the water energy, though. I'd like to see maybe a 6 or a 9, not even a 6, more of a 9. 9 or a 10 of cups, right? If you have a thought or an impression about this card, put your answer in the comments, okay? Let's just see what it is. I don't know. I'm thinking water, I think. It's difficult. Feels dense. Right, the energy feels dense, so it's hard to get an idea. Let's just look at it. Oh, look at that. We've got the moon. It's not the full moon. This is the new moon. But this to me is kind of, this is the idea of it being dark outside the bars, right? Like again, as I look out past the lights of my studio toward my office chair, and there's a bookshelf over there. It's dark. It's pitch black. It's like I'm looking into a void, right? I know something's out there. I know it's there, but I have no sense of it being here, and it kind of makes me a little dizzy, to be honest with you. It's kind of like we're groping through the world with our eyes closed, so we know something's out there for us. But that's where clarity and certainty and transcendence lies, in the unknown. So this is a great confirmation card that says, yeah, maybe you're tunneling blindly through the earth. You will find the hidden stone. You will find the full moon illumination. You will find the source of your queasiness. And then you'll keep drilling. You'll pop out the other side. And you'll have this 0G kind of freedom, boundless life. This is a good confirmation. It's not the full moon, it's the new moon. So maybe that's what we're searching for, is the source of that uneasiness, so that we can purge it, right? So that we can deal with it, process it, recycle it, and then just tunnel on to the other side. I like it. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. Click on the link in the corner if you'd like to join me. I'm here every day from 6 to 8 a.m. Chicago time. I hope you'll come back and see me again tomorrow. Okay. New readings for Virgo, specifically Tuesdays and Saturdays. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. Doesn't cost anything. All right. I appreciate you. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.